Hi, my name's Ken LaSalle, and today I would like to present for you an extended look at my new book, Dynamic Pluralism, A Revolution in Ethics, now available in ebook, paperback, and audiobook from Amazon, iTunes, and around the web. You can find out more at kenlasalle.com. A Revolution in Ethics. According to the second law of thermodynamics, entropy increases over time, which is to say that things in the universe, including people, have a tendency to go with the flow. In fact, that's how most people live from day to day, by going with the flow. Standing up for something you believe in, behaving in an ethical manner, actually means not going with the flow. It means defying entropy. The second law of thermodynamics actually accounts for this. It's referred to as putting energy back into the system. You may not realize it, but everything you do changes the world. It may not be a huge change. It may not even be noticeable by the naked eye, but your every action changes things around you. Yes, that's more science for you. Newton's third law. Think about it. When you shop, when you work, even when you party, you are changing the world. In a global economy, your every act creates change throughout the system. Food you buy at the store changes the way food is grown on the other side of the world. Work you do may be experienced in some way on the other side of an ocean. This is unique in most of humanity's history. Now, what if you chose for each of those actions to be ethical actions? What if the change you created was ethical change? By choosing ethics, by committing to ethical behavior, and not just going with the flow, you are putting energy back into the system. You change the world a little every day, no matter what you do. Why not choose to make that change for a better world? As strange as it might seem, this can be one of the most revolutionary things you can do every day of your life. The Latin phrase status quo, or more specifically, status quo ante, literally means the state of affairs that existed before. By going with the flow and maintaining the status quo, you are ensuring that nothing improves, that reality TV gets increasingly bad, that politics become increasingly corrupt, that the earth turns further and further into a cesspool. You are guaranteeing entropy. Defying this, standing against this, turns ethics into an act of revolution. George Orwell once said that during times of universal deceit, telling the truth becomes a revolutionary act. The interpretation of ethics in this book takes that idea a step further. The world needs revolution in a time of seemingly universal apathy, and that revolution lies within you. Too long have we put sports figures on a pedestal and made them heroes for our children. All far too many of them do is throw a ball around. Too long have we shrugged our shoulders at every political malfeasance, chalking it up to an increasingly corrupt system. We forgot that politicians work for us. They should be better than us. Too long have we allowed war and greed, assuming that this time, after so many times before, there will be some kind of payoff. There isn't, though. Not for good people. Only for criminals. Too long have we used celebrities as both our goal and distraction. We don't need more celebrities. We have enough. We need decency, compassion, and empathy. More than ever, we need ethics. This revolution will be unlike any other you may have encountered. Previous revolutions relied on political will and social movements, but fell victim to time and changing attitudes. It is those elements, however, that will serve this revolution best, because as you will see, with time, attitudes will change. There will be no martyrs. While there have been many martyrs over the centuries in other revolutions, the rate of exchange is often rather abysmal. For real revolution to be successful, we must have a revolution of individuals, a personal revolution, which will spread out with every ethical action we take. I say again, for those who still aren't sure, this will not be easy. It will require a new way of thinking, of accepting that right and wrong are not necessarily ethical distinctions. An ethical decision may be considered wrong by some, and what some see as right may be unethical. It will require a new way of looking at ourselves. We perform unethical deeds every day, driving our cars, supporting wars that appear to be just, ignoring those in need, and so on. And we will need to find a way to mitigate the unethical with the ethical, to find our way through. Most importantly, it will require a new kind of honesty, because you cannot claim to love your children if you are creating a world that is killing them. You cannot claim to love your fellow man if your actions are hurting them. Some might say that ethics have been lost, but I'm not entirely sure they were ever found. At least, not in any solid philosophical way. True, there have been many who displayed ethics in the past, and I'll be spotlighting many of them here, both the famous and overlooked. I'll also highlight the infamous who have taken us down many dark rabbit holes of unethical sludge. With every ethical choice, you will effect some kind of change in the world, and you will move others towards ethics as well. This is the way it has to be. In a world where we have left tough choices, such as energy policy, the ending of war, and the welfare of mankind, to whoever has the most money, we need a new kind of currency, a currency of ethics. The prevalence of laissez-faire capitalism hasn't helped anyone. We need to grow up. It's time to become adults. This book will look at the world through the lens of ethics. It will cast a light on our history to show where we've gone wrong, but more importantly, what right behavior might help point the way. It will explain, without too much jargon, past philosophies in ethics, where they went wrong, and where they were right. In addition, it will put to rest the confusion of ethics and morality, and lay a clear and easy to understand path towards making ethics a part of your life. This book will not be comprehensive. There are bound to be things I leave out either intentionally or carelessly, but there will be enough to get my point across. My apologies for the Western bent of this book. My experience is based in the United States, and the focus will therefore reside there. This is not to say that the ethical theories herein should be avoided elsewhere. On the contrary, the ethics of dynamic pluralism are universal. There may be some science involved to help us understand things along the way. There will be some history as well. But I promise, no math,